Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day. Success sleeps early. We got disciplines over distraction. We got to have discipline over the distractions. You know, I saw an interview with Muhammad Ali, and they were asking him questions about what was some of the hardest things that he's had to do. How did he get to where he wanted to go? What were the things that he could look back on? He said,
The central part of your training, is it running? Is it sparring? Or
Central part is dodging the nightclubs and the parties and the girls. You want the truth? And being in the bed by yourself at 9 o'clock at night. And if you can get by that, you'll make it.
the central part of training was dodging the nightclubs and the parties and the women and being in bed by yourself at 9 o'clock at night. Man, that ain't that the truth? He said, if you can get by that, then you're gonna make it. Now that's the truth. That's what he said. And so the same goes for us in business. It may not be every single detail that he said, but the key is this: people don't fail because they lack talent often. It's because they lack focus and discipline. The hardest things isn't even the hardest things. It's the hardest things you got to say no to on a weekly and daily basis. Sometimes people can't trade the long term, where they're going to be long term. They can't trade the long term for the short term pleasure. They want the greatness, but the greatness has to come long term if you give up the short term pleasure. Success doesn't require genius, it requires discipline. People think that to be successful, it's all this, rocket science. Really, it just boils down to discipline. Choosing your future over how you feel right now. A lot of people that have greatness inside them became average because they chase parties, they chase attention, and they chase these temporary highs and excitement that'll give them some fun right now that they can't sacrifice, but they could have been so much further. Winners separate themselves by chasing the things that are a little bit difficult. They chase getting sleep. They chase preparation. They chase purpose versus all these short-term fun things. Late nights are expensive. Not just bottle service and, it's like, it's expensive. It costs a lot of money. But late nights are expensive. It's not just in money, but in lost time, lost energy the next day, lost momentum towards your goals, being behind the competition. Partying feeds the ego and the fun right now, but it ain't going to feed the future. Temporary fun is never going to replace long-term achievement where you want to be. Chasing pleasure destroys purpose. Like, what's your mission? What's the reason? What's the things that you're after? Those who can't control their urges can't control their destiny. Parties and clubs and fun, that stuff's always going to be there, but opportunity sometimes got an expiration date on it. Like, we got to go get it right now. It expires. Sometimes you get an opportunity of a lifetime, but you got to take advantage of it during the lifetime of the opportunity, and your opportunity might be right now. Like these next 5 years, that's your opportunity to make it happen. 5 years can seem like a long time, but when you go out and buy a car, typically a car, if you buy it and you don't buy it in cash, the loan payment is a 5-year car. That's the car note, 5 years, average. So if you buy a car, by the time the car is paid off in 5 years, like that might be your window right now, the next 5 years. Greatness is built oftentimes in isolation, by yourself, in the quiet, in the dark. Quiet nights alone are where the focus is sharpened and the dreams are built. Self-respect comes from having self-control. Like you can't respect yourself as much as you want to respect yourself if you don't have any self-control. Telling yourself no to things that you know you want to say yes to, that starts to build your self-respect, starts to build your self-confidence. And reminder, you can't pour from an empty cup. When you're trying to lead yourself to the promised land, or you're trying to lead other people to the promised land, it starts out with mentally, physically, spiritually pouring into yourself. Mentally, physically, and spiritually pouring into yourself breeds consistent high performance. How do you do it all? You know, the question I get, how do you fit it all in? You got to schedule your time out. You got to have a schedule. You got to have a plan. This is when I'm going to work. This is when I'm going to train. This is when I'm going to rest. This is when I'm going to pour into myself, and have a schedule and stick to that schedule. But again, it goes back to that discipline. And I think to have really, really good days, to start stacking really, really good days, you got to guard your nights. You got to be careful with how you handle most of your evenings. I'm not saying once in a while you can't go out and do something, but the majority of your time, 90%, 99%, depending on how urgent this goal is, you got to guard your nights and you got to protect your mornings. Distractions destroy habits, and habits compound over time. Those things are what determine your success, the habits that you have over and over and over again. And the discipline is what's going to separate you from where you're at and where you want to be. Success loves boring routines. People don't love boring routines, but success loves boring routines. So if you want to be great, you better get into a routine, and sometimes that routine is going to be boring, and we got to be consistent, because consistency beats chaos. Excellence is going to thrive in structure. You got to provide structure to your life, structure to what it is that you're trying to build. If you want to be excellent, that's where you're going to strive at. And oh, by the way, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The people that you're hanging around. If you're hanging around undisciplined people, it's going to be difficult for you to be disciplined. Legacy ain't going to be built at the nightclubs. Legacy ain't going to be built because you're hanging out and having so much fun all the time. That ain't where legacy is built. That's where other people's pockets are built that are sucking up your time. You got to surround yourself with people that are on the grind. Surround yourself with people that are moving in the same direction as you. That's going to make it a lot easier on you when you're on the grind, when you're on the hustle, and you got to supply discipline to your life, because your future is going to demand sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up to go to the next level? If you want to have this unbelievable life, but you ain't willing to give up things, if you're not willing to give up and make some certain trade-offs, that ain't going to happen. Every great life is built on trade-offs. You got to give up to go up. You control your nights and you own your mornings. When you win your mornings, you start to dominate your days. When you start to dominate your days, you build a life far beyond anything that a party could ever give you. And so I want us to take the lesson from one of the greats of all time. If you don't want to take it from me, or you don't want to take it from your other leaders out there, take it from Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers of all time. You got to choose that discipline over these distractions that they try to deal you on a daily basis. And if you do, we're going to see you at the top. As always, we appreciate you guys joining us on another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day.